And now let us go for the 8. Every finite group of composite order has proper subgroups. For that, let me now take one group, say G, and its order is n. Say n it is, where n is a composite number. It is not a prime number. It is a composite. Then definitely there exists a cyclic group generated by a single element AN. Okay. Yes. Let me take one group here which is finite. Let G be a finite group. G be a finite group. And the order of G is equal to n, and the order of G is equal to n, where n is a composite number, where n is a composite number, n is a composite number it is. Okay. See, we have taken one group G which is finite, and order of this group is n, where n is a composite number. Now I wanted to prove that it has a proper subgroups. Proper subgroups means other than the identity element E and the group G itself. So in order to prove that, there arise two cases. One is G may be a cyclic group generated by A. There arise two cases. One is case 1. Let G be a cyclic group. Let G be a cyclic group generated by an element A belonging to G here. Generated by A belonging to G. That is, you said G is a cyclic group generated by A. And here, therefore, this implies that order of A is equal to order of G is equal to n. This order of A is equal to n means it implies that A to the power n is equal to E here. Order of A is equal to n means A to the power n is equal to E, the identity element. Since n is a composite number, it can be written as the product of two integers, say l and m here. A to the power ln is equal to E here. Since n is composite, okay, this A to the power l whole ln can be written as A to the power l whole to the power m is equal to E here. Now consider one subset. Now consider one subset, a subset H1. A subset, say H1 is equal to, set of all A to the power L, A to the power L square, A to the power L cube, and so on, A to the power Ln, of course, which is nothing but E here. And you can observe this H1 is what? H1 is what here? It is the elements whose integral multiple is A to the power L. Means it is definitely a cyclic group having n elements here. Means definitely It is what it is? It is a proper subgroup. It is. So clearly this H1, clearly it is a cyclic subgroup of G. It is a cyclic subgroup of G generated by A is by not A, it is A to the power L, by A to the power L. Hence H1 is a proper subgroup of G. Hence H1 is a proper subgroup of G. This proper subgroup of G. This is case 1. Say what I did here. I have taken one group G, which is a cyclic group generated by A belonging to G. That is G is a cyclic group generated by A. Means order of A is equal to order of G, which is equal to N, where N is a composite number. Therefore, this implies that A to the power N is equal to E. But N being a composite number, it can be written as the product of two integers. A is equal to Lm, which is equal to E. But A to the power Lm may be written as A to the power L whole to the power M is equal to Em. So now they set H1 is equal to the integral multiples of A to the power L, that is A to the power L, A to the power L squared, A to the power L cube, and so on, A to the power Lm, which is equal to E. Clearly this H1 is a cyclic subgroup of G generated by A to the power L. Hence H1 is a proper subgroup of G. Now the case 2 we will let us take here. Let G be any other group, and A belongs to B. G be either element of G it is. Okay, let case 2 right. Case 2, let G be any other group, and A belongs to be an arbitrary element, and A belongs to G be an arbitrary element. It is arbitrary element, and here of course it is of prime order element of prime order means order of A is equal to P set P being a prime, P being a prime number, order of A is equal to P being a prime number. This implies that A to the power P is equal to E here. A to the power P is equal to E. But by corollary 1, order of A divides order of G. Order of A divides order of G. That is, order of A means it is P, divides order of G means it is N here. Order of G is N. Since N is a composite number, definitely it is it implies that P is less than N. Composite implies that P is less than N. Thus a subset say H2 is equal to set of all elements of this type a to the power 1 a squared a cube and so on up to a to the power b which is equal to e is a cyclic group subgroup of G is a cyclic subgroup of G generated by A and it has how many elements? Yes, and it has P elements. Therefore, order of H2 is equal to P. Of course, it is less than M. Therefore, you can write here. This implies that 1 is less than order of H2 is less than N means it is order of G. Since H2 has at least 2 elements A and B. Since H2 has at least 2 elements A and D. Okay. Hence H2 is a proper subgroup. Hence H2 is a proper subgroup of G. Proper subgroup of G. Yes. In case 2, what we have taken, let G be any other group and A belonging to be an arbitrary element of G, such that P it is a prime order. That is, order of A is equal to P. P being a prime number. Order of A is equal to P implies that A to the power P is equal to E. By corollary 1, we have this order of A divides order of G. Order of A is P here. Order of G is N. P divides N. Since N is composite, definitely P is less than N. Means there exists one subset say S2 which is equal to set of all A to the power 1, A squared, A cube and so on up to A to the power P which is equal to E here, which is a cyclic subgroup of G generated by A, and it has how many elements? P elements, and therefore your order of H2 is less than or equal to P less than N, and since definitely order of H2 is greater than 1 because it has at least 2 elements A and D, and it is less than order of G. Therefore, you can say H2 is a proper subgroup of G. Thus, in both the cases, in case 1 we have seen that H1 is a proper subgroup of G. In case 2, H2 is a proper subgroup of G. Thus, every finite group of composite order has proper subgroups. Okay. Next, with this, let me go for corollary number 8. Corollary number 8. Corollary number 9. Last one. Corollary number 9. Yes, what it says. Any group of order 5. Any group of order 5 or less is always abelian. See, any group of order less than or equal to 5 is always abelian. Yes. This I wanted to prove here. This I wanted to prove here. Suppose if a group consists of a single element, Priyanka. Suppose if a group consists of a single element, means it is an identity element. Identity element E. Then what is its order? Order of E is equal to 1. Order of E is equal to 1, and obviously it is abelian. Okay? E into E is equal to E into E is equal to E. It is of the type A into B is equal to B into A, means which is abelian. Okay? So you can write, it is obvious. It is obvious that the group of order 1, the group of order 1, that is singleton E, is abelian. Is abelian. And by corollary 6, yes, what the corollary 6 says? Yes, what is the corollary 6? Yes, a finite group of prime order is abelian. Okay, by corollary 6, a group of prime order is cyclic. Prime order is cyclic, and hence abelian. Yes, this is by corollary number 6. What it says? A finite group of prime order is always cyclic, and hence it is abelian. With this we have proved. Say, what are the groups with prime order less than or equal to 5? Yes, the group of order 2, because 2 is a prime number, and the group of order 3, because 3 is a prime number, and the group of order 5. These are all what they are? They are cyclic groups, and hence they are abelian. Okay. Yes, correct. Which implies that the groups of order, the groups of order 2, 3, 5 are abelian here. By the corollary 6. So, in the group of order 5, we have gone through group of order 1, 2, 3 and 5. We have left with only one order, which is that a group of order 4. A group of order 4. That we wanted to prove that it is abelian. Okay. Yes. Now let G be a group of order 4. Now let me take one group G. Let G be a group of order 4. That is, order of G is equal to 4. Yes. Next, by this, once again, we will have two cases. Case 1, G has an element of order 4, then G is cyclic, and hence it is abelian. First point is, if G has an element then G is cyclic and hence abelian. And hence abelian. Case 2. If G has no elements of order 4. Case 2. Let us take here. If G has no elements, if G has no elements of order 4, this implies that what is the order of every element other than identity? Yes, I have told you here. If G has no elements of order 4, then my question is, what is the order of an element except the identity element? Come on, tell me, this is an important point. See, if G has elements of order 4, then definitely it is cyclic and hence it is abelian. If G has no element, then my question is, what is the order of every element except the identity element? Whether it is 1, 2, 3 or 4, which one? Who do you say it is 3? Identity element bitbidi. It has no elements of order 4. A to the power 4 is not equal to E here. So what is the order of every element? Order of every element is 2 here. Yes, this implies that the order of every element, other than identity should be 2. Yes, why it is so? ಅದು ಎರಡೇ ಯಾಕಿರಬೇಕು? ಶುಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. It should be 2. ಎರಡೇ ಯಾಕಿರಬೇಕು? Since we know that order of A divides order of G. What is order of G here? It is 4. It cannot be 1, I told. So it cannot be 3. The divisor of 4 is only 2. Okay. So like that, the order of every element other than identity element should be 2 here. That is for every A. That is for every A belonging to G. Order of A is equal to 2. This order of A is equal to 2 means it implies that A squared is equal to the identity element E. A squared is equal to the identity element E. Multiply by A inverse. Multiply by A inverse or A to the power minus 1 on both the sides. What happens? A squared into A to the power minus 1 is, it is A squared into A inverse. Into A inverse is what? A squared into A inverse. It is A squared into A inverse is equal to A to the power 2 minus 1 is equal to what? Not I. Very simple. A to the power m into A to the power m. A to the power m plus m. It is a squared into a to the power minus 1 is equal to a to the power 2 minus 1 is equal to a to the power 1. A to the power 1 is equal to a to the power 1 is equal to a inverse into e. Yes, a inverse into e is equal to what? A inverse. Thus, what we have obtained, a inverse is equal to a. Call this result as result number 1 here. Call this result as result number 1. This is true for every a belonging to G. And now we shall show that this group G is abelian. In order to prove that it is abelian, we have to check the commutative property, that is A into B is equal to B into A. So by result number 1, now for every A comma B belonging to G, this implies by closure law AB belongs to G. AB belongs to G. This implies that AB is equal to AB whole inverse. This is clearly by result number 1, because your A is equal to A inverse. A is equal to A inverse. Therefore, AB is equal to AB whole inverse. This implies that AB, write it as it is. AB whole inverse by reverse law. What it is? By reverse law. This is equal to B inverse into A inverse. This implies that AB is equal to, what is B inverse by inverse law? A inverse is equal to A. B inverse is B into A inverse is A. This is again by result number 1. B inverse is B and A inverse is A. Thus what we have proved? AB is equal to BA, which proves the commutative law. Means your group G is abelian. Okay. Which proves the commutative law. Hence G is abelian. Hence G is abelian. So thus every group of order 5 or less than or equal to 5 is always abelian. Hence the proof. Okay. Yes. With this